Geronimo here. I am cruising and I just thought I would take you with me for a couple of minutes. We're going to do a 2-minute success tip here. So I'm going to let you know I am driving, so I'm going to be looking at the road. But so I heard something recently that I thought was extremely powerful, and I wanted to share it with you. You know, we're all out there and we're pushing and we're striving, and we are in this game we call network marketing. We are in the business of life. And you know what? It's interesting because oftentimes we have these things we perceive as disadvantages, okay? I remember when I first got in business for myself, which was a long time ago. I started in business really young. And you know what? One of the perceived disadvantages I always had was that I was too young, you know, that nobody would take me seriously, and that it would just be hard to get ahead, and, you know, I wasn't going to let it stop me, but it was a disadvantage in my head, okay? And, you know, it's interesting because a lot of times what we think is our disadvantage, what we think about the story that we tell ourselves is, you know, this is why we haven't succeeded yet. This is a challenge we have to overcome. This is something that is hard, and it's, you know, an extra hurdle that we must climb over for us to succeed. What's funny is oftentimes that actually ends up becoming your greatest advantage. It actually ends up becoming your greatest, I don't want to say selling point, but it gives you actually some leverage in the marketplace that you wouldn't have had if you didn't have that disadvantage, right? So what am I talking about? Well, have you ever seen someone that was really young and they go out there and they tear it up and they're just like making moves in business, they're doing amazing, and then they're out there and they're showing the plan, they're pushing, they're striving, and they're showing the business model to people that are, you know, their parents' age, right? They're quite a bit older, and they're like, shoot, if this punk kid can do this, it is game on. Certainly we can do it, right? So when in the beginning it seemed like a disadvantage, it actually ends up working for you. Now, another example that I saw like in my own life was, you know, about 5 years ago, actually 7 years ago now, we had really gone in on real estate. We went hot and heavy. We were in our mid-20s and we're like lighting the world on fire with real estate. We had some amazing times, and then we had some very tumultuous times. Like, it really sucked. And what am I talking about? We started buying property. House after house after house after house. We scrinched and saved every single dollar to put for the next house that we were going to buy. And we thought, hey, this is so great. Everything is awesome. And almost like the drop of a hat, like it happened in an instant, in the blink of an eye. That whole thing finished, like it's done. So the bubble burst, and literally our world came crashing down. And then, you know, we started losing everything. We lost every single investment property we bought. We lost our personal home. We lost it all. We lost our business. We lost our credit. I mean, it really sucked. And it was a rough time in our life. It was a rough time for our marriage. It was a rough time for our finances. But you know what? Looking back now, here we are later on in life. Looking back now, I would not change that for anything. Would not change that. 2 reasons. Number one, that story, that experience in my life, that disadvantage that I went through, that heartache, that just rough spot, it has become a huge advantage for me. Why? Because it's a point that I minister out of. When people say, hey, I'm having a hard time in my finances. Hey, I'm having a lot of stuff going on. Hey, you know, this is really, really challenging. It hurts. It's tough. I'm not sleeping. I have anxiety. I got, you know, stress in my finances, stress in my marriage. Hey, I can speak to that. You know, Jim Rohn talks about, you know, if you've never had any problems, if you've never had any rough patches, how can you help anyone, right? Like, they're like, hey, you know, how can you connect with other people when you have not been there yourself, or you don't really know what they're going through, or at least they don't feel like they know that you know what they're going through. And so that incredible, tumultuous disadvantage has become our greatest advantage. And we use it all the time because we share the story of what happened, how, you know, we went through the muck, and we went through the mire, and we went through people showing up at our door regularly, serving us foreclosure papers, bill collectors calling us, literally changing phone numbers, and I hope they don't find me, you know, kind of thing. And you know what? That whole experience has been a huge connecting point for us to relate to other people so that we could, share our story and let them know, hey, if we did it, if we got out of all that, you can do it too. And the thing that got us out of all of that yucky stuff was network marketing. Network marketing was our plan B. Network marketing was a thing that got us free. It was a thing that got us to the finish line. And so I just want to share with you guys that if you're struggling with something, if you're like, man, I'm a single mom and I'm trying to build a business and it's so hard and it's so tough. Well, what's better, being a single mom or being married to a lousy spouse? When you're a single mom and you go out there and you make it, you can connect so much better with other single moms, right? Or let's say you're like, you know what? It's so hard because I'm working 2 jobs and I'm doing, a job during the day, a job at night, and I'm doing network marketing part-time. Hey, this is so tough. Yeah, but when you bust through, when you overcome, when you get to the finish line, that becomes your greatest advantage. So I just want to encourage you to take a couple of minutes and think about, what is the story you've been telling yourself about your disadvantages? What is the thing that you say, hey, this is why I have not got to my goals. Hey, this is the problem. This is to blame for me being where I'm at. Just think about it. And I'm going to challenge you, if you can think about it, and if you can be man or woman enough to say, how could this perceived disadvantage actually work in my favor? How could this be something that I am going to change how I think about it in my mind so that it can propel me forward into success rather than hold me back? Again, this whole concept was something that I heard recently on The Miracle Morning for Network Marketers. If you have not had that book or had not had an opportunity to read it, highly suggest you get it. It was absolutely amazing. I'm going through it rapid fire. And so get it, pick it up. But when I heard this, I was like, man, that's good. I always knew that about my own story that we had gone through, but I never heard it explained that way. And so I just wanted to share it with you because I thought it was extremely powerful. Thoughts are things, right? We manifest our reality with the thoughts that we put out into the marketplace, with the things that we think about ourselves, with the things that we say over ourselves in our mind, right? Like, the biggest thing we got to deal with is our own self-talk, right? Forget other people. It's what we say about ourselves that ends up being the biggest challenge. So just think about it. Whatever you have been pinpointing in your life as a disadvantage, just flip the card around and say, how could this disadvantage work for my benefit? How could this perceived disadvantage actually be a springboard to launch me forward, to actually work in my favor? Just think about it. If you have a couple minutes, write it down. And if you have a breakthrough, let me know. I want to hear about it. So that's it. I got to get scooting. But one other thing is, one of the things that has been a huge advantage for us is learning how to master social media, learning how to use this platform that we're on right now to build our business, to actually get it situated in a way where people were reaching out to us. Could you imagine what life would be like if you opened your phone in the morning when you're getting up and you have people inboxing you saying they want to know more. Tell me more about what you're doing. Hey, I see you're doing something fun. Hey, I see you're doing something cool. Hey, what's this thing you got going on here? I don't get it, but can you tell me more? If that's something that you would like to see, start taking place in your life, you would like to start getting those type of messages, then click on the link that's listed in the description and you'll get my free gift. It's something that will help you lay the foundation of how to start using social media to actually get prospects coming your way, actually get them reaching out to you. So that is it. That's my free gift to you. So great to see you all. Take care, be blessed, and I will see you all next time.
For more great training and to receive your free MP3 download on how to attract prospects using social media, the 4 essential elements to attracting prospects, visit summergeronimo.com.